Hi there, and welcome to the analysis section of this course. This is really just for relaxation. There is nothing you have to remember. Don't take notes, yeah, unless you really can't help yourself. At least if you take notes, don't review them. And if I say things that you haven't learned yet, it's fine. You don't have to memorize this or remember this. This will teach you a way of thinking and working rather than anything else, and you will soon understand how powerful this can be, even though you just lean back and listen to what I say. Let's get started. I try to keep it short, 10-15 minutes. That should do the job. Now, the first sentence, I walk you through the whole text of the lesson. And the first sentence is, Es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen in Berlin. And if you want to understand a German sentence, it's always helpful to start with looking for the verb. The verb is very often found in the second position. First can also be, but not now. Second position. So you could, and for now we do this, count 1, 2. And in this case, this works. You will see soon that it's not always like this. Es ist ein schöner Montagmorgen. Now, ist, well, you know, it's very easy to understand. It means is. And es, hopefully you've learned already, and if not, you will learn now. It simply means it. Yeah, bit ironic, right? Because this looks more like it than this, but it is. So what is it? It's a Montagmorgen. You sometimes can take words apart, and Montag looks like mon, and Tag you might already have learned day, Monday. And what could it be? Monday, what? Morning. Yeah, so morgen basically looks like morning. We just made it more efficient by removing letters. So it is a very likely Monday morning, or it is Monday morning in Berlin. All you need to understand. You don't need to understand schön. Yeah? Let's take a look at another sentence. Die Sonne scheint. The und basically means and. You see the similarity, I hope. So we delete this. It's basically a full stop. Die Sonne scheint. Now let's look for the verb. And we said second position, 1, 2. Now I have a problem, because any word that is capitalized, like Sonne here, can never be the verb. So we have to count a little bit further, or go a bit further, scheint. That means die Sonne is actually position 1, while shine still is on position 2. So position 1 doesn't mean word 1, or position 2 doesn't mean word 2. It really means position, and the position can be filled with, several words. And we would still have shined on position 2. Maybe that gives you a little idea. So die Sonne scheint. Yeah. If you don't know Sonne yet, so scheint already sounds like S-W-I-N, of course, shine. Yeah. So what is shining? First association with shining, hopefully in where you live, is the sun. Yeah. Not the sun with an O, but the one with a U. So the sun shines. In German we say shines, we don't say is shining. Never. Or not before B2, C1. The sun shines. Just a quick. Die Vögel zwitschern fröhlich in den Bäumen. We mainly look now for the verbs, and if there's something that's obvious, I'll point it out. Now we have the same problem. 1, 2, Vögel capitalized cannot be the verb, so this is the verb, zwitschern. And this is what's in front of it. Now, zwitschern, it's difficult to see. It's a little bit jumbled. In English is Twitter. And twittering is done by whom? Well, in German, it's by the Vögel, or a Vogel, and that means bird. You don't have to understand whether it is 1 or 2 birds for now, but if you take a look at zwitschern, at one point you will see the N ending cannot be used by a single bird. It has to be the birds. Yeah? Zwitscher, Twitter. You see the relation. I have another good one for you. Zunder, Tinder. So Z and T are somehow related, yeah, or changing in a reliable manner at times. Here's another one. Zweig, twig. Yeah, these are little beauties. Don't worry about these things for now. So birds are twittering. So they're twittering. Good enough. If you don't know Baum yet, don't worry about it. But you see the in here, which in very often means either inside or into. So they are very likely twittering somewhere, sitting somewhere, being somewhere. And here's a nice word, fröhlich. Maybe you will learn to see these things. Frohlich. Frolically. Fröhlich comes from frolic, so they are twittering frolically inside of something. Yeah, again, it's not about understanding every single word. Simone Tesch fährt in ihr Büro. 1, 2, 3, because this is capitalized. So Simone, hopefully you recognize as a name. Tesch then very likely is her family name. And you will soon be able to identify Simone as a woman. The ear might give it away, but that's a bit ahead. Fahren, though, is related to fare. The wayfarer, for example. Yeah? And that is related to driving somehow in German, because Simone is driving. And now where? In, we said, is very often into. And then Bureau, Federal Bureau of Investigations. So that's the office. Lovely, right? How beautiful this all connects. This is a difficult one, so let me keep this short. Es gibt, you have to remember, if you combine es and gibt, and it's mainly in this, you will never have es geben, yeah, or at least not anytime soon. But es gibt simply translates as there is or there are. Yeah, and that makes it a bit confusing, because you literally it would be it gives. Yeah, Germans also have was gibt's. Yeah, and that is translated as what gives. And I think in English you actually use that somewhere, maybe British English. So it's not it gives in this case. Es and gibt usually translate as there is. So there is what? Viel zu tun. Feel, I have a little mnemonic for you. I feel too much. Or I feel a lot. And the feel here doesn't mean to feel, it actually means a lot. Yeah, so remember that I feel a lot. You will never forget feel. So there is a lot. What is there? Zu tun. And zu, you learn soon means to. And tun, if I cut off the N, to. And in English that's to do. There's a lot to do. Again, I don't expect you to see this. Take it in and see the beauty. Yeah? There's no need to remember any of this. And you will. This is a nice one. You see Simone. Simone is, again, very easy. What is she? Private, and then detective. And now you can see Simone is a woman, because at the end of a job title, private detective, there is an IN, and IN always indicates a woman. For example, Angela Merkel was the Kanzlerin. Yeah, and well, if you don't want to, because it makes it okay, Kanzlerin. And Annalena Baerbock is the Ministerin. Yeah, so IN indicates it's a woman. Good. Not always, but most of the time. Now, Beruf is a lovely word, just because I love it so much. Be, as a prefix, often means in the direction of something, but Ruf comes from call. Yeah, anrufen, to call someone, And private detective is, of course, even though you do a lot of calls, that cannot be the meaning here. It is the calling. So Simone is a private detective by calling. Yeah, von Beruf is a fixed expression which you just learn. Yeah, the von here simply wouldn't be translated as by and not as from. So these are things you would learn as you go. Yeah. So, hat mit ihrem Assistenten Stefan vor 3 Jahren das Detektivbüro Tesch gegründet. Now, hat is the verb. You might identify that. Second position, mit, hopefully you learn soon, cannot be anything. So, the question is, who has done what? Hat is actually always a sign that you should look for a second verb. While it could be the only one, it's rather unlikely. And if there is already one verb on position 2, by the way, this is position 2, interestingly wise, the second verb is always at the end, and therefore this one has to be it. And let me show you. Yeah, so has gegründet, and gründet simply comes from or is related to the English word ground. Yeah, and it's not that obvious, but it's basically laying the foundation of something. So she has founded, yeah, and how to build this word we look at later in the course, much later. So she has founded. And the next question I have, what? And the rest we can ignore. You see there is Stefan in there, so very likely she has founded something with Stefan. This one we can ignore. Jahren, though, should be obvious or might become obvious soon. Oh yeah, here. The Y is it's a year. And the EN ending indicates that it's more than 1 year. Yeah, the numbers we look at later. So she has founded, not this, because she cannot found a person and she cannot found years, but she very likely has founded this, which is the detective, and we have again the word bureau here, so the detective agency. Yeah, and this is the name. As simple as that. So that's all you need to understand.